life is a mess and you're totally stressed out, just call Trent. Just call Trent. When your wife is cold as ice and you need some advice, just call Trent. Just call Trent. He'll shoot it straight and he won't say no. He'll just give you that advice and say, well, there you go.
Oh, hello, welcome to the second episode of There You Go with Trent Mabry. I am your host, Trent Mabry. Thank you for tuning in to the sophomore episode. Well, we got an interesting one for you, but we'll get into that in a second. First, I would just like to say thank you for all the people that have downloaded, listened, reviewed, rated it. We got 6 ratings and two reviews. We've 5 stars on 6 ratings, and we have 2 written reviews, which I will read now. And in the future, if you write a review for the podcast, I will read it on the air. So, the first 5-star review, this is from Brandon, the guy I gave advice on how to grow chest hair. He rated it 5 stars, said, great episode. Going to buy tomatoes now. Thanks for the advice. I think what I learned is I have daddy issues. Great. And you're welcome, Brandon. Happy to help, and thank you for the review. And the second one says, I'm a better man because of this. I wasn't sure who I was or who I should be. I read every book out there to try and push me in the right direction. I hired a guru to come to my house 3 days a week and set me straight. Nothing worked. I was going nowhere fast, and I was ready to give up. And suddenly the clouds opened. The clouds parted, Suddenly the clouds parted, and Trent's podcast came to my rescue. I am now a fully functioning member of society, and I have this podcast to thank for it. Thanks, Trent. And you're welcome, sir. I'm happy to help, and I hope this episode helps people. And I hope every episode helps people. I also got a comment on the photo I'm using for the podcast. Now, I know you've all seen the photo. I think it's a great photo, a picture for the podcast, a logo, if you will. It's my face now. It says, there you go. It's got my face, and it says, with Trent Mabry. I had a complaint. Well, not really a complaint. Somebody saw it on Instagram that I matched with a girl on Tinder. And somehow she saw my post on Instagram, not on my profile, on the how it says your Discover page or whatever. I never look at that, but apparently it was on there. She must have searched my name and then it got into the algorithm. But she sent me a picture of it, and she asked if that was me, and I go yes. And she said the picture didn't look like me. I go, well, I don't know what to tell you. It's probably the best picture I've ever taken. That's why I used it. It is a few years old, probably not that long ago, but apparently I'm aging like shit, according to this girl. So if there's an artist out there or anything who can help me do a better picture, I'm more than welcome. I can't give you any money, but if you want to do it in your free time and send it to me, and if I like it, I'll use it. Also, you can follow the podcast, and you can follow me. My Twitter is at Trent Mabry. The podcast Twitter is at ThereYouGoPod. My Instagram is Trent_Mabry. And the podcast Twitter is There You Go Podcast. And you can also like my new podcast Facebook page. There You Go with Trent Mabry. You just search that on Facebook, it should come up. That's all the housekeeping I think we have. So let's get into the email. We got one email, which is fine. Oh, but hold on. Before we get into that, I know a lot of people, maybe you don't want me to have your email. That's understandable. I mean, if we've looked at the news lately, we all know comedians aren't trustworthy people. By the way, I won't. If you do email me, I won't respond. I will only answer on the podcast. So don't worry about that. Because I really don't want to talk to you fucking losers outside of this. But there is a thing you can use if you want an anonymous email. It's called anonymousemail.me. I tried it out. You just go to that on the website, on the www, anonymousemail.me. And all you have to do is type in my email on where it says to, and you type in advice from Trent at gmail.com. That's advice from Trent at gmail.com, and you just type in the subject and your message, what you want, what advice you need, and you hit send, and it'll come to me. And I tried it out, and it just says from anonymousemail.me, so I won't know who sent it. Anyway, let's get in to the email. It's one email. I'm gonna try my best. It's an odd one. We'll see. I'll give you my thoughts afterwards. Just be prepared. It's a strange one. Subject: Hello, Trent. ... That's called an ellipsis or ellipses. I don't know. Either one's fine with me. Says, my name is Charles. I'm a 28-year-old man. I need some help. I saw your Instagram post, but I was nervous at first to reach out. But I feel like I'm at my wit's end. Recently, I have been having some really intense feelings. I've never felt this way before in my life. I know the way I'm feeling isn't really socially acceptable, so I'm not sure what I should do. Please don't judge me. I really need solid advice. I have sexual fantasies about my stepmom wearing diapers. It really turns me on thinking about her in this way. I feel very conflicted because my dad would be extremely upset if I vocalized my desires. If you would please offer me some advice on how to proceed, I would really appreciate your help. Now, I don't know if this... my gut feeling is to say this is entirely made up. I don't recognize the name. But when I first read it, I go, all right, well, this is some guy. This is one of my friends trying to be funny. But it was sent at 9:45. Then I got a second email. The original one was sent at 9:45 p.m. And then I got a second email while I was asleep. It was sent at 11:46 p.m. from the same email address. It said, hello. I was just wanting to get an idea of how long it will take to hear your advice. I'm pretty desperate here, man. I hope you're well. Thanks, Charles. So he waited 2 hours to send a follow-up email. And that gave me pause to think, hey, maybe this is real. But I still don't think it is. Solely for the fact that it says, I have sexual fantasies about my stepmom wearing diapers. Now, if he just said about his stepmom, I wouldn't question it. I would question it, but because why would you email me? You need to go see a therapist. But Here's my advice. If this is fake, if you're just trying to be funny, you didn't need the diaper thing. That's my comedy advice for you. You put a hat on a hat, as they say. Try too hard to be funny with the diaper thing. Just the stepmom thing, it would have been fun. It would have been fine. But let's pretend it is real because I need to fill the airtime, the content. I need content. I know that it is a popular fetish, or if Pornhub has led me to believe it, stepmom, stepsister, stepmom, incest porn is a popular fetish. It's always on the main page. Not something I'm particularly into. I'm not a big plot guy, if we're being honest. I'm more of a star. I like the star. I like who's in the porn. Like I got a lot of favorite porn stars, but it doesn't matter the plot. It's like we don't really have big movie stars anymore. There are a few left, but like in the old days, people loved John Wayne. They'd go see every John Wayne movie. It didn't matter the plot. That's how I am with porn stars. Like, I'll watch anything with Asa Akira. But I can't say I've ever seen her playing a stepmom. I do know that it is a popular porn category, though, and to each their own. It's not something I'm into. Especially not a stepmom wearing diapers. But here's what I would say, Charles. In the email you say... Hold on, let me pull it back up. You say, in the email you say, you feel very conflicted because your dad would be extremely upset if you vocalized your desires. And I would say, yeah, he probably would be very upset. You don't have to be a sex expert. You don't have to be Dr. Ruth to figure that out. So yeah, definitely don't tell your dad. I mean, think about it. Let's say you had a girlfriend. Chances are you definitely don't. But let's say you did. And you're about to sit down. Your family was about to sit down for Thanksgiving dinner. And before you guys all sat down to say grace, your dad pulled you aside and said, "Hey, Charles, let me talk to you something for a second. Your girlfriend, she's very nice. She's a part of the family. I can't wait to have Thanksgiving dinner with her, but I gotta confess something. The thought of her wearing diapers really turns me on. You'd probably be upset about that, and I don't think you'd stay for the stuffing. So definitely don't tell your dad, and I would say don't tell your stepmom about this either. Doesn't mention if you have any step siblings, but if you do, don't tell them. If you have any real siblings, not that your step siblings aren't real, but you know what I mean. Have any blood siblings, don't tell them. Don't tell your biological mother. Don't tell your grandparents. Quite frankly, don't tell anybody. I would say take this to your grave. I would say it's fine to watch fake incest videos on Pornhub. If this is your kink, that's fine. I'm not into kink shaming. Here's what I would try to do. I think it's going to be a very difficult task, but I would try to find somebody that's age appropriate, who's into role playing, and who has no problem acting like your stepmom wearing diapers. That would be my advice to you. Try to find somebody. Get on Tinder, get on Bumble, get on Hinge, get on S'more. any dating site, and I would say don't come right out of the gate with this. Wait, trick them. I don't know why my voice cracked, but trick them into falling in love with you. And I would say maybe wait even 5 years before you bring this up at all. You got to make sure they're emotionally invested in you, so they don't just automatically leave. They got to hear you out. They can't be disgusted immediately and pack their bags and leave. They gotta be invested in the relationship. They gotta want to try and work this out. That would be my advice. If you're having trouble with that, which I assume you will, and you get really desperate, I would say maybe go. You could. I don't want to tell you to break the law, but you could go to Nevada. I'm not sure. I don't think it's legal in the entire state of Nevada, but when I was a young boy, we had a free weekend of HBO, and I saw that bunny ranch. There's a documentary about the bunny ranch. I forget where it is, but if you get very desperate, you could go to Nevada, hire yourself a prostitute, and tell them your fantasy, and I assume you're going to have to pay a little extra. I don't think that's going to be on their menu, but you can tell them what you want. And they can act like your stepmom and wear diapers. I'm sure you probably have to provide the diapers. But if you get really desperate, hire a prostitute legally. You could also go to the red light district. And I'm not talking about the Ludacris album. So yeah. That would be the long-term advice is try your best to find somebody that supports your fantasy, your kink, and try to cultivate a loving relationship with them and spring that on them when they're in too deep. But for a quick fix, hire a prostitute. So there you go. That's it. That's my advice. You're welcome, Charles. And a little update. In the last episode, I ranked the names of the generations. The greatest generation is different from baby boomers. The greatest generation is the parents. They are the parents of the baby boomers. So anyway, they're number one. Then I would say baby boomers, Gen X, whatever. You can go back and listen to it. Anyway, greatest generation. They have the coolest name. And I also I received a call from my buddy, Scott, who told me that I'm not a millennial. I'm Generation Y, Gen Y. And I looked it up. Turns out millennial and Gen Y are the same thing. I think Gen Y is a better name for us. As in Gen Y, the fuck did our parents bring us into this mess? So anyway, that's it. That's the second episode. It was a strange one. I'm still not sure if the question was real or not. But if you need advice, I will answer anything. You can email me at advicefromtrent@gmail.com. That's advice from Trent@gmail.com. Be sure to rate and review, subscribe, all that shit. You can also listen to us on Spotify if you prefer that, and every other podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast, you can listen to it everywhere. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.